the honey badger. It is not big. It is not fast. It is barely the size of a small dog. On a savanna ruled by lions, leopards, and hyenas, it should be near the bottom of the food chain. It isn't. And the reason is simple. The honey badger has decided, somewhere deep in its wiring, that it will never back down from anything. Ever. Its body is built for this attitude. Skin so thick and loose that most bites and stings barely reach it. Claws like chisels. And a set of jaws that can crack straight through bone. But its greatest weapon isn't any of those things. It's the fact that it simply refuses to be afraid. And today, that refusal is going to be tested again and again. It doesn't take long. As the badger crosses the open plain in search of food, the grass ahead shifts, and a male lion rises to its feet. For almost any animal in Africa, this is the moment you run. A single swipe from that paw could end the badger in an instant. Every rule of survival says, retreat. The honey badger does the opposite. It lowers its head, raises the loose fur along its back to look larger, and walks toward the lion, hissing, growling, refusing to give a single step. It is a creature a fraction of the lion's size, telling the king of the savanna that this fight is not worth it. And here is the strange truth of the honey badger. Most predators, faced with something this aggressive and this hard to kill, decide it isn't worth the injury. The lion hesitates. It watches this furious little animal come at it, and, slowly, it turns away. Not beaten, just unwilling. The badger has won the only way it knows how, by being more trouble than any meal is worth. The badger moves on, and the sky tells it where to go next. Vultures are circling and dropping toward a carcass on the plain. To the badger, that means food, but it won't have the carcass to itself. The hyenas are already there. A hyena is bigger, stronger, and hunts in numbers. A sensible animal waits its turn. The honey badger walks straight into the middle of them. What happens next is pure attitude. The badger snaps and lunges, darting under the hyenas, refusing to be pushed off, making itself such a furious nuisance that the far larger predators actually give it space. It isn't stronger than them. It has simply convinced them that fighting it costs more than sharing. It tears off what it can and moves on, fed, unbothered, and already looking for the next opportunity. Across the plain, another hunter has just made a kill. A secretary bird, the tall, long-legged raptor that hunts snakes on foot, has just struck down a cobra of its own. The badger sees it, and it wants that snake. It approaches low and fast. The secretary bird spreads its huge wings in warning, stamping, defending its meal. For a moment, the two face off, the tall, elegant bird and the low, stubborn badger. But the badger has one advantage the bird doesn't. It does not care. It presses in, ignoring the wings, ignoring the threat display, until the secretary bird decides its meal isn't worth the fight and gives ground. The snake is the badger's now, venomous or not. Because here's the other secret of this animal. It can survive bites and venom that would kill almost anything else its size. To the honey badger, a deadly snake isn't a threat. It's dinner. But the honey badger didn't get its name from snakes or carcasses. It got it from the one food it loves more than any other, and the one that fights back hardest. Honey. High in a hollow tree hangs a wild beehive, tens of thousands of bees, and inside, the rich honey and grubs the badger craves. Any other animal that raided this hive would be driven off in agony within seconds. The honey badger climbs straight in. The bees erupt, covering it, stinging in a cloud so thick it blurs the animal's shape. And the badger keeps digging. Its thick skin turns away most of the stings. It simply endures what nothing else can, tearing into the hive for the reward inside. 50,000 bees, and not one of them can make this animal quit. It eats its fill, climbs down, and shakes off the swarm like rain. Another impossible meal, taken by the only animal stubborn enough to take it. By late afternoon, the badger crosses one last territory, and this one belongs to a whole clan of meerkats. The moment they spot it, the alarm goes up. But the meerkats don't scatter and hide. Together, this clan does something remarkable. They band into a tight, bristling group and stand their ground, mobbing the intruder as one. For a moment, the tables turn. The fearless honey badger, the animal that faced a lion without blinking, is surrounded by dozens of small, furious defenders, refusing to let it near their burrows. And even the honey badger knows when a meal isn't worth the swarm. It huffs, snaps once more, and moves on, leaving the meerkats their den. Not because it was afraid, but because even the most fearless animal in Africa understands one thing: some fights aren't worth finishing. The meerkats have won the only way they know how, together. As the sun drops, the honey badger turns for home. It has faced a lion, robbed a pack of hyenas, stolen from a secretary bird, raided 50,000 bees, and stared down an entire meerkat clan, all in a single day, all in a day's work. And perhaps that is the real lesson of the honey badger. It is not the biggest animal on the savanna, or the strongest, or the fastest. By every measure that should matter, it should lose. But it survives, thrives, on the one thing no predator can take from it: the absolute refusal to back down. Out here, courage isn't the absence of danger. It's walking straight through it, every single day, and coming home anyway. The honey badger fears nothing in Africa, and its story is only just beginning. If you want to follow the boldest animals on the savanna, subscribe and join the fearless life. Watch the wild the way it truly is: small, fearless, and unstoppable.